This is the greatest steel short wheelbase in right-hand drive on the planet. It's a bold claim, but here's why in a nutshell. One of the first two cars to come to the UK for Colonel Ronnie Hoare and his brand new company, Maranello Concessionaires. It was built to full competition specification, albeit with a steel body. But it doesn't stop there. All of the closing panels were alloy and the floors were alloy. That means that the bonnet, the boot lid, and the doors and the floors were lightweight aluminium, making the car 60 kilograms lighter than a standard steel short wheelbase. The car was riddled with competition features. So starting from the front, behind these elegant bumpers, these could be removed to reveal the brake cooling ducts for racing to keep those brakes cool. In the engine bay, we had an open air tray with open velocity stacks, as they like to call them in the USA, or carburettor trumpets, as I like to call them. The engine featured high lift camshafts, higher compression, and the braking system was of a racing type without servo. Moving to the body style itself, this is an earlier specification car, but one of the 11 or so interim cars that were built in semi-competition spec in order to help homologate the cars, and a sister car of this car featured in those homologation papers with the FIA at the time. This means that it has the lower height windscreen that is raked back at a steeper angle to the later cars, making a much sleeker, sexy looking car from side on. Also, the side profile of the car is slightly slimmer. As you look at the car from the front on, it doesn't look as heavy and as squat. It's got a much more elegant presence to it. Sitting on 16-inch wheels rather than the 15-inch wheels of the standard street cars later on. Being an early specification car, added to that, this is one of the last cars to have the curved tops of window door frames. This again makes for a lower roof and a much more attractive look in my opinion. And it's also one of the first cars to feature wind-up windows, as the ones previously to this had sliding perspex items, and later on we saw quarter lights added, which can quite often look bulky from the side-on view. Looking at the interior quickly, we have bucket seats and we have a curved centre console. Beneath that centre console, we have a magnesium alloy case gearbox, unlike the iron casing of the standard street car, which was also ribbed to aid cooling and to dissipate the heat from that hot gearbox ore when racing. The rear parcel shelf inside is higher than normal with a flap on the top in order to undo the spare wheel. We'll come back to that in a minute. The dashboard is a slightly different specification to the later cars. It does not feature the painted body colour on-show metal lower half. It's a fully leather-covered dash. Moving to the rear of the car, we have this exposed vent in the roof above the rear screen. The earlier cars tended to have a vent in the rear window, but this is one of the first cars where the vent moved to the roof, which is a much more attractive look. Adding to that rear end attraction, we've got that outside fuel filler, a Monza filler, fitted in the dogleg of the boot lid, which is a really attractive location and absolutely screams race car, competition car. Later on, the fuel fillers, even on the CFAC hot rods, move to the rear wing, which in my opinion is not as attractive a feature. The number plate is recessed in this car in the boot lid, which is much like all the cars later on, and we have an Abarth sports exhaust system. Moving to inside the boot, we have a long-range fuel tank, which the spare wheel sits on top of, and then inside the boot we also have our quick lift jack here. The quick lift jack is for in a race or a rally, if you needed to stop at the side of the road and change your wheel quickly, you could simply hook into the jacking points on the sills of the car, lift the car up really quickly, much like they did in racing pit stops, change your wheel and be on your way really quickly. It was much quicker than having a wind-up jack. It just relied on some brute force. Finally, a limited slip differential is at the back of the car. So that's what makes this car full competition specification, albeit with a steel body. So it's the perfect, fastest road car. And this car was owned for 40 years by Richard Colton until he famously left the car to the RNLI, who sold it at auction in 2015, where it made a world record price. We've looked after this car ever since then, and in 2020 we embarked upon a full restoration to return the car to its absolute original specification, and it was carried out to the highest standard as you would expect. Today the car is Class K certified, which was awarded in 2024, and confirms that the car is completely matching numbers throughout, original body, original chassis, original colour combination, no black marks whatsoever against it. Therefore, in my opinion, This really is the greatest right-hand drive steel short wheelbase on the planet, and we're extremely proud to announce that we have again sold this car to its latest custodian.